sometimes the most important nut that needs adjusting is the nut that's behind the handlebar. So say holding onto the handlebar. Oh, that's right. Oh no, this is not where I wanted to stall it. Oh, hey now. Hi everyone, welcome back to this ride video. This is now the second ride video. Hope you enjoyed the first one. This one's going to be more or less the same as the first video, riding through a bunch of single track. I do get onto some twin tracks and full drive tracks at the end, quite sandy tracks, that were a lot of fun. Yeah, I do get onto a few tracks that I've never been on before. Learn a little bit more about the bike, learn a little bit more about myself. So it's going to be more or less the same as the last video. I'm not really going to interject with too much commentary other than what I happen to say while I'm riding the bike. So I hope you enjoy the video. Right, it's a good time to clear some stuff out of my helmet. Didn't quite realise, but my battery went flat on my GoPro. Hopefully that's at about the same angle. Might even be slightly better, who knows. Good thing I carry spares. Also good to know that I get about an hour, just under an hour out of that battery. Have better batteries, but they weren't charged. So we press on. Next time, my plan is to have a second GoPro going. Don't know exactly where I'm going to mount it, but that's the plan. Just didn't have an SD card for today, so.
It only happened like maybe about a minute or two back, so haven't lost too much too much trail footage. I heard the beeping. I didn't really know what it was. It's hard to hear over the motorbike. Anyway, this has been a really fun trail so far. Really fun trail. It's not so bad to have a stop every now and then. Problem is my legs turn to jelly every time I stop. It's not fit enough. So that's where that goes. Good to know. Alright, so where to now? Look, there's a good bit of single trail through here, but I've been going for about an hour. My plan is to get all the way through here along this and then pretty much follow this blue line, a lot of this blue line. So I've only ever ridden this track once in my life. So I think this is the one. No, that goes the wrong way as well. Let's find out. Yeah, now that it sort of knows where I'm going. Yeah, I'm on the right track. Ah, stalled it again. Why do I keep doing this to myself? It's in second, that's why. Yeah, I'm not that good of a rider. Now, I don't really remember this trail very well. Like I say, I've ridden it once in my life. Too high. Might have to sit down a little more. I think I struggled somewhat when I came through here last time, but I was not a very good rider then either, so lots of feet down, that's what it's going to be. there's a trail that way. I'm not going on it today though. Still there, looks like it is. This is the Mundabiddy. I don't want to be riding on the Mundabiddy, but they did put the Mundabiddy right where a dirt bike track is. So I'm just going to be considerate and get off as quick as I can, which I think is right here. I'm taking the trail more ridden. Barely. I think that was the right decision. Now, I'm at a point, I've been going for an hour, a bit over an hour. I think at this point I head in this way. This isn't going to take me anywhere near as much time, so that's good, but I've still a long way to go. gonna have to do this one. I don't want a bike. It won't fall over now. So my plan is still, it looks like the inlet is open. My plan is to ride up that trail, like back down this way, across there, up the trail. That's a really spectacular section of road, or track. Then ride along the beach and back that way. That's my plan. First, what I need to do, I need to see a man about a dog. Hopefully this is some pretty cool footage you're seeing there. Oh, let's do this. So I had a plan to be home by 4:30 and it is currently 4:27. I also had a plan to leave by lunchtime and that didn't happen because I was working this morning. So I'm not going to quite ride in the way that I had originally planned. I am basically going to, I will do some of this track still, but then I'm just going to get back out onto the road and head down. So yeah, I didn't film myself coming up here. I'm quite glad that I didn't, because it was a bit of a pain to try and dig the bike out of the, well, it wasn't that much of a pain. I just rode it out more or less, but it wouldn't have made for interesting watching. Now hopefully I've at least got enough battery just to film the ride out. Oh no. Ugh. Hang on. All right. Oh, everything's wet. Do you know what? That's not even from the rain. That's from the bushes. Everything. I mean, that's where I was riding through there. You know, you wouldn't see single track through a lot of this kind of bush. Yeah, that's the kind of terrain I was riding through, and it just, like, because it rained this morning. Everything's just so wet. Please turn on. Agree. Okay. Very briefly, you got to see what I saw, what I looked through. Right. I really got to get the electrics on this bike sorted. But for now, that works. Okay. You can see I've been up this way quite a few times. Right, got one more battery. Very, very glad that I grabbed that one. It's only got 40% battery, but that should be just enough to get me out of here. Spent more time up here than I originally had planned. I thought that my devotion would only take 20 minutes or so, and then I looked at the time on my audio recording and it was 40 minutes. Now I'm sorry, I'm not to blame. Both of my granddads are or were wafflers. And I believe I have picked up some of those tendencies. So hopefully that video is watchable. It's going to be like an hour long, I guess. No, it won't be that long. Maybe like 40 minutes. It's pretty much a sermon length. Alright, let's get out of here. Now it might have looked pretty dangerous what I was doing before, but I was riding at that pace because it's so soft through here. You just have to keep the speed up, otherwise your front wheel just digs in, and then you go nowhere. Hang on, I just realised I haven't tightened my helmet properly, and that's not good. It can be really hard when you've got your gloves on to tighten your helmet properly, so do your helmet up. Alright, let's go. It's a lot of fun also, crashing through track. First time I rode my bike through here, I pushed it up this hill. Let's hope I don't do that this time. Oh man, the dog's breakfast. It's really hard to stay in the middle. Not too soft. How deep these tyre tracks are. Fortunately, because it's not too hot and we've had some rain, it's sort of solid, but like it's still pretty soft. And with these tyres, you know, it's I lose a bit there too. Look, I'm gonna go this way. Oh, no I'm not. I want to go this way. You get good at kickstarting a bike when your stator is average. Just these tracks get made because it's so soft. Go off trails, but then if there is a trail there, I'll use it. I had thoughts about taking some of these tracks through here as well, but I'm not going to do that. Water. I go down. It's so hard again. Like, look how it's just powder. And with adventure tyres, it's so hard. Film the ride out at least. Yeah, I really wish I could have ridden along the beach and done that track, but that's going to add another 20 minutes just that. So now it's just ride back home, try and be safe. Probably only 7 minutes.
Well, thanks for watching that video. It was a lot of fun of a ride that particular day. A lot of fun also in learning some things about video editing and the uploading process for YouTube, all of that kind of thing that goes into this. I'm still on that learning process, so I hope you'll still bear with me. While you're here, on this particular ride I started a new project as well. I'm calling it Dirt Bike Devotionals, where I ride to a scenic location and then read through a section of God's Word and do a little devotional on that. If that's something that interests you, I'll link to probably the playlist that I've made for those videos. So I'd love it if you check that out as well. If not, no worries. So thanks again and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.